Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and reading tarot on Friday and Saturday night. I'm glad that you're back with me. I see that I've already had people waiting before I got in here, so if you've been waiting, thank you, appreciate it. If you're new, I'll explain how all this goes about. I'm actually not new to tarot. I've actually had this deck for 14 years now, and I am deadly accurate when it comes to pulling cards. However, I have the memory of Dory, and I can't remember the names. So, if you're new here, I have to look them up, all right? But it's helping me learn. Hey, so I have somebody by the name of the Magician in here. Hey, Stewie! Uh, Crystal! How are you? Chris, I see you. Lydia! Amber! Yay! Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate it. All right. 14 years. That's 2 years younger than me. Right? Right, Chris? All right, guys. So if you were wanting me to pull your cards, do me a favor and let me know in chat. I know Stuart already wanted me to pull his cards. And Stewie's a friend of mine. I love him to death. All right. So let me start off. Stuart, do you want a past, present, and future? Crystal, you want one? All right. Let's do past, present, and future. Also, if you're new, how do I do this? I am a little different with my tarot than everybody else. When I am trying to pull your cards, I almost have this connection from the card to you. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to feel your energy so that way I pick the card that you're supposed to have. You'll see me fan out my cards, and actually my fingers are trying to find which card I want. And it's hard to say, but it's like the card gets sticky. And so I pull the sticky card. But you'll hear me talk about with some people that I can actually feel whether or not they're anxious. I can feel whether or not they're kind of skeptic of it. So you'll hear me say those types of things. So we'll do Stuart first. Amber, I know you're always down. All right. Chris, chill with the candle. You're fine. Past. Present. Oh, this one's just right there. Future. Okay. All right. Right there. Let's see. So, Stuart, you have the Two of Cups in your past. Again, Two of Cups often has to do, we know, the emotion side of things. Integration of masculine and feminine aspects within oneself, an attraction that may become a serious relationship, harmony, love, or enchantment. What I think this means is just that first line is what picks me. The integration of masculine and feminine aspects. Because I know you, I do know that this card is pretty accurate for your past. You know, and you know why. So let's go to your present. Your present is the Three of Swords. Again, I love this card. I do, but I can never remember the card. Y'all, you need to get the card more often, okay? So that way I can remember it. A sharp pain to the heart, disappointment, end of a love relationship, separation, sorrow that can enlighten or can debilitate, oversensitivity. So the last line is getting to me, oversensitivity. But I don't think that it's been an oversensitivity of No, I feel like some of it is just like you're being oversensitive about something, but you have a legitimate, like there was something that kind of set you off about it. That happened this week. There was something this week that kind of set you off, and you've been fighting with whether or not you're just being overly sensitive about it. Let's talk about your future. Your future is the Six of Pentacles. And it's in reverse. Jealousy or envy from those less fortunate, need for appreciation. No, I think next week, like, there's somebody that's going to try to start something. Like, they're jealous of you because you're doing your job right. So there's going to be some petty stuff going on. That's what I feel for next week. I feel like next week's got some petty stuff going on. Like, it's just, yeah. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's just some petty stuff going on. And it has to do with just, you're going to think you're being overly sensitive about it. You're not. It's just being petty. All right. Well, the Magician, you had gotten in here like way before everybody else. So I am going to read your cards if you'd like for me to. I saw that you had a question up there. Your question was very particular. And you asked, is Bun the Sagittarius? Okay. You're thinking about. Okay. So I'll pull the one card. Magician, you're new here, so I don't know. I feel like you've got a few little blocks up trying to, like, you want to know this answer, but you're a little worried about this answer. I don't know if I'm right on that. There's just, all right. I pulled the Nine of Pentacles for you. I pulled the Nine of Pentacles for you. So let's see. Pleasure or sensuality, fertility and luxury, material prosperity. Now that this has been accomplished, perhaps it is time to create a family. I guess that answers your question right there, doesn't it? If your question is in regards to a relationship, then that's it, gave you an answer. Yes, that person's thinking about you. And in a serious way. All right. Do I know that for a fact? I don't, but that's what the card said. All right. Crystal, are you still here? We're going to get you now. You wanted a past, present, and future card. And I really appreciate everybody who's new here. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay. Past. Present. Future. All right. Crystal. Ooh. Ooh, the goddesses are coming out to play for you. Okay. Okay. Goddesses in my deck are the life tarot. They are the ones that are the guardians and guides of what you're doing next. But you have Chang'e, and I love to show on my feed like what these goddesses are and where they, where they're from. So this is the card. She's really pretty. And I'm sorry, my camera's not that great. But Chang'o, she is the Chinese moon goddess, was exiled to the moon because of her need to obtain divinity. With a white hare as her only companion, she spent much time alone contemplating life's mysteries. Okay, so she's in front facing, and that means the need to go within to gain knowledge, to own one's divinity, withdrawal to better contemplate life. So this is telling me that in your past, Crystal, you have been very much of an introvert. You have been the one that kind of is introspective more than jumping to things, and that you've spent more time away from people. Not that you didn't want to, but that you wanted to spend time away from people. You really have the goddesses coming out to play. You must have like a really burning question that is just, okay. So you have Isis that came out for your present. She's an Egyptian goddess, and she is number 1 in the deck. The great Egyptian fertility goddess Isis is a potent symbol of the alchemic transformation suggested by this card. She alone was the possessor of the secret name of Ra, the Egyptian ruling god, giving her unlimited magical powers. Now, she showed up reversed in your reading, and that is a need to control or secrecy. So there's something that you might be hiding right now. Yeah, I feel like you're not, it's not a negative thing. It's just something that you don't want out. And then in your future, you have the 10 of Staves. And guys, remember, I think I remember the staves were creativity, right? Right? I think I remembered it from last year. Y'all, it's been a week. It's been a week, okay? So the 10 of Staves, you have it frontward facing, Crystal, and it is the accumulation of the creative venture begun with the 1 of Staves. Success that becomes overwhelming with its responsibility. So this card is suggesting that maybe what you're hiding secret is what you need to go forward. Okay. I think that, how do I put this? I want to say there's something within a business, like you've got something that you do, you make, a talent that you have, and you've been keeping it kind of low. You don't really want to go forward. Maybe you've thought about going into business. A lot of people think about going into business right now. What I'm getting from that card is that, yeah, you can do that. It'll probably make, it'll probably make you happy, but it's going to also come with a lot of responsibility. And that responsibility might feel overwhelming to you. So that's where that is. Again, I don't know if any of that's right. There are days where I am spot on, and then there are days where it's like, what? Hey, Becca, how are you? How are you? No, thank you, Crystal. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. You are absolutely welcome to stay around and see what everybody else's reading is. Same with you, Magician. You can stay around and watch everybody else's reading. Hey, Marissa! All right, who was next? I know Amber wants one. I know Chris does. So I have done Stuart's and Crystal's. So let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Right? I know, Chris, you want one. So let's get you, Chris. Chris, this is gonna be specific about this week. All right. Yeah, Chris was next, right? Yeah. Oi. Thank you. I did the purple last weekend. Yeah, I did the purple last weekend. And I don't know. I'm okay with the purple. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I was looking through pictures with me with the green hair, and I really, really liked myself with green hair. Like that lime green hair that I had. I really wish I had that back. But seeing that I can't leave until I get vaccinated. I can't go see a hairdresser just yet. I cut my hair myself, guys. I'm pretty proud of this. Don't tell Caitlin, though. She'll kill me. All right. All right, Chris, here you go. Chris, you still work at the theater? I don't know. There's something I was pulling this and that's what came into my head. I don't know why. Present. And I'm going to specifically name this one next week because I feel like I need to. All right. I saw that on Facebook, Chris, that your hair is blue, and I don't believe it until I see pictures. Okay, I don't know why that came into my head then. That's interesting. All right. You got the Two of Cups in your past too, which is the combining of masculine and feminine. Present. Four of Pentacles. I remember this card. I remember the card. I remember that. Okay, all right. I won't do that ever again. No, I will. Four of Pentacles. All right. If you didn't like it, oh well. It's my happy dance. It's fine. Four of Pentacles. This card says wealth and prosperity. This is in this week. Like that when I was pulling it, I was specifically pulling like this was last week, this was this week, and this is next week, right? So this week I have wealth and prosperity, stabilizing material forces in life, a family inheritance. This could be a talent, money, or land. So what I feel like it's more like you've stabilized a little bit this week. Like there's I don't want to say mood stabilizing, but that's what it kind of feels like. Was like you've hit something that's just kind of okay. That's All right, future next week. Next week you've got the Seven of Swords. That is your deal. The ability to defend oneself in a situation. However, energy should not be placed in recrimination, need for caution and examination. So this card is suggesting that next week you are going to be goaded into an argument. But why would this show up? So this past week, I don't know. I feel like you're going to like this week was calm. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like a stressful week. That's what I feel like. It's not been a stressful week. But next week, like you're going to be goaded into a fight. Like somebody's going to try to argue with you, and the card is trying to tell you like just don't. Like let it just flow off your back. Because if you go into it, then all kinds of bad things. So when somebody starts to goad you into the argument next week, ignore it. All right. I don't know. I try not to. Not at all. All right, let's see. And Marissa, I miss you too. I just now saw that that was up there. I'm sorry. Like I am going through, I can't keep up with chat. You know, I'm going to figure out, like, Amber doesn't know it yet, but Amber's going to help me with this. I'm going to figure out how to have, like, chat and myself sync. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to have to get an assistant. See, Amber? See where you came in to play there? You're going to be my assistant. And I say that because Amber was actually a former kiddo of mine. She was actually my assistant for yearbook. And that child kept me so organized, so completely organized. Y'all, if you're looking for a personal assistant, you need Amber. All right. I promise you, you need her. She is brilliant with organization. So just saying. All right. So I don't feel so bad, Stewie. Right? You already did. You were like, I'm just going to talk to him and tell him what's going on. You're hired, Amber. All right. Back to who was next? Who was next? Amber? Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. My makeup's running, y'all. Makeup's running. I needed this joy in my life. I'm going to tell you how much I needed this joy and how much I needed you guys this week. I have had one of the crappiest weeks. Like, I've not felt great. And then on top of it, we had to call a plumber because one of the faucets in our bathroom was leaking. We thought, okay, we just replace the faucet, right? Because that's what happens. Plumber gets in there. Nope, our faucets are leaking into the walls. So next week, that's why I didn't post anything on Wednesday. Like I physically was just unable to. We actually have to have our wall in this room taken down. Like they're going to have to cut into the wall and fix the pipes. And then after they leave, we have to go and fix the wall. So I needed this joy. I appreciate you all. I really do. I appreciate you being in here and just giving me the good energy, right? All right. Cat. Go, Cat. Lydia. Lydia, you're next. All right. All right. Hello, Bree Tree. I don't know who you are, but hello. Welcome. All right. Let's go, Lydia. Lydia, do you want a past, present, and future? I'm going to do a past, present, future. We're going to do last week, this week, and next week for your spread. All right. So last week. Ooh, okay. All right. I see you. Stop. This week. And next week. Okay. So last week, you had a goddess, temptation, Naya Loro Kudul. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this was one of the oh my goodness, Hawaiian goddesses, right? I don't know. Before I run my mouth and sound stupid, let me make sure I look things up, right? Okay. Within the green waves of the Pacific Ocean resides the seductive mermaid goddess Naya Loro Kadu. Again, I know that I'm not saying that right. I still need to Google this. Her powers reflect the temptation of illusion, of beauties which may be enslaving of the incession we control. She is forward-facing, Lydia. So last week, you were tempted by forces one cannot control, something deep within the psyche, the shadow, personified as temptation or addiction. sensual desires, gluttony, or envy. So what did I feel from those? I feel like you got, okay, so this is what I think happened with you. I think you got like head first into either like constantly worrying about, not constantly, worrying isn't the right word. I keep getting crafting and animals. So it feels like in the previous week, like that's all you did. You were just crafting and taking care of your animals. And that's, you kind of wanted to stay in that little, you didn't want to get out of it. You just wanted to craft and take care of your animals. So let's see. Hey, Cindy! Your this week was 2 of staves in reverse. Staves again is a creativity. I remember it. I'm even though this week has been crappy because, you know, the plumbing issue and all that jazz, there has been some monumental things that have made me happy. And once I get this done, I will tell you, I say monumental and they probably weren't that monumental, but they were to me. So 2 of staves. 2 of staves, and the meaning is reversed. A good start to a venture that loses momentum. Disappointment in projects. So that last one, disappointment in projects. So the week previous, like you were doing stuff, and this week you're just nitpicking the crap out of everything you do. Like you can't find any positive things in the things that you're doing, and you just aren't happy with what has occurred this week. So that's what I'm getting. And then for next week, I've got the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. And she is in reverse. Need to ground oneself. Perhaps an over-materialistic orientation to life, disappointment in home, or lack of focus. That first part, the need to ground yourself. I don't know. Pentacles, not tentacles. So Lydia, I feel like you need to ground yourself right now. You're going to go through something next week. Next week's going to be a little trying. But as long as you know your place of peace and you know how to get back to your place of peace, you'll be okay. It's just going to be a trying week next week. So that's where I am. All right, hold on. Yes, I had Burger King again. Stop judging me. All right, then we have Becca's next. Becca. All right. Lydia, I'd love to know if I was right on any of your weeks. And then after Becca, first you and then Garrett and then Becca. Okay. All right. I got it. I'm there. I know it's gross. But it's also so good. So good. I didn't like tonight though. Well, I did like tonight, but I didn't like all of tonight. I had gotten onion rings and the onion rings were super hard. It was gross. I was accurate. Yeah. There's my happy dance. Y'all. Okay. So Amber, I'm gonna do yours. I was gonna say the things that made me happy. All right. Things that make me happy. 1, I'm starting to remember the cards. That's making me very happy today, right? Very happy. You guys being here, super happy, right? That makes me super happy. Now, the other thing that makes me happy is I decided I was going to learn how to crochet. Y'all, my grandma was trying to teach me how to crochet since I could pick up a crochet needle. I kid you not. And I do not have good spatial skills. If I can't physically see it in front of me, I can't place it in my brain. So that's why crocheting has always been very difficult for me. I'd have to see ahead of time before I could see it there. But I decided I was going to learn how to crochet. And I decided the first thing I was going to crochet was a granny square. I started off with round 1. Y'all, this was horrible. This little guy is absolutely like the dumbest looking thing in the world. See, he's all weird, right? But I got there and I finally made a good round 1. right? A good round 1. Yes. Yes, good me, right? Today I went to round 2. This guy looks all kinds of wonky. He's getting there. And I got him, right? So now I'm on round 3. And this makes me happy because I'm learning something that I thought I would never be able to do. And I have to say, thank you guys. Because all of you guys that subscribe to my channel and you guys have been there with my crafting and all these live sessions, like you guys give me the confidence to try new things. And I appreciate you for that. Just saying. I'm not going to cry. I got makeup on. So I'm... All right. All right, Amber. You, Garrett, Becca. You, Garrett, Becca. Amber, I'm going to do the last week, this week, and next week. Last week. Okay, all right, all right. This week. Calm. I will read you. And next week. All right. So last week, we've got the 8 of Staves. Staves is creativity. And it is forward-facing. Sudden communications, unexpected phone calls, surprise letters, energetic movement. I want to go with an unexpected phone call. Like last week, you got some kind of unexpected phone call. Not the one we are on currently, but the previous week, I feel like you got an unexpected phone call, which is leading into this week. And this week, you have Kuan Yin. She's a goddess. It's a life thing. So you got an unexpected phone call about something with life. And Kuan Yin is number 12. She is honored as the Holy Mother of Compassion. Kuan Yin is one of the most beloved goddesses of China. Instead of allowing herself to enjoy heaven's delight, Kuan Yin vowed never to leave the earth until the last human was free from pain, sacrificing herself for the greater good of all. She is in reverse. Lack of compassion, avoiding pain for gain, focus on materialism to the detriment of spiritual values. I don't feel like that works. You got an unexpected phone call. So I don't think the lack of compassion is you. What I feel like is that whatever the phone call was, it was done with a lack of compassion. And so therefore this week has been you trying to fulfill something, but nobody's giving you slack for it. I don't know. Hey, Aaron! Yeah, I don't know. It feels like you got a phone call and the person that called you doesn't have compassion about the thing that they asked you to do. And so you've been struggling this week. Let's see what next week is. You got another goddess. You have the fertility goddess in reverse. So the fertility goddess in reverse. Well, first off, her name is Estisanetalehi. I will figure it out. I will learn this. This is the next thing I gotta learn is how to say these goddesses' names. She is the Navajo corn goddess, symbolizing the ever-changing, ever-fertile earth. Like the earth itself, Estanahali appears as a young maiden for the spring and summer months. As the wheel of the year changes to fall and winter, she changes in age to a crone. You got her in reverse. So time to look at where your life needs fertilizing. Okay. So whatever phone call came the week before has really gotten you thinking about things, and the universe is like, yeah, you need to start thinking about where you want to go. Where you got to stop thinking about what everybody else wants of you, but where do you want to go? Yeah, that's it. You are to stop thinking about everybody else and start prepping for your own garden. All right, Garrett. Next week, you got to think about yourself. There's going to be a decision, Amber. There's a decision that has to be made, and you've got to think about this and you can't put anybody else in. You've got to think about you. You got to think about you. Okay. Extraordinarily accurate. Yes. Now, if I could only remember the cards. All right. Let's get Garrett. Oh, so we'll do the last week, this week, next week spread. Last week. This week. Garrett got like 2 things going on at once right now. Next week. Okay. All right. Last week for Garrett, he had the Prince of Swords. Prince of Swords. I opened right up to it. No lie. It was great. It was amazing. It's forward facing. And so it says, news that brings sense to a situation. Message is communication. Sorry, immediately as I started reading this, your phone call has something to do with him too. Like the phone call somehow also affected Garrett. That phone call affected Garrett. He has the 3 of Swords in reverse for this week, what he went through this week. Says indulging in grief for the sake of drama, which is not what I'm catching on to, but the slow easing of sorrow is what I'm catching on to. There was something disappointing in this week. He got news. It was just disappointing. Like it's not like a huge, like, a life-changing disappointment. It was just like something that he was kind of wanting to do, and like the word network, like there was a connection that he was trying to make and it didn't work. And somehow that has to do with your phone call? Oh, okay, let's look at his next week. He's got the 5 of Cups in reverse. 5 of Cups in reverse, a growing awareness that relationships are what you make of them. So he's gonna, okay, he got disappointing news this week, didn't make the connection he was looking forward to making, but next week, hit the ground running, work harder than you did this week. I know that's kind of dumb, but yeah, that's what it's suggesting is that you've got to, Garrett, you got to hit the ground running. There is a connection that needs to be made this week, but if you don't initiate it, that connection will never be made. It's not going to happen on its own. You got to hit the ground running and do it. That's where I get that. All right, Becca. Stewie's like, I wish my verbal reactions were audible. I was gonna say, Chris, I was like, you still wave through your phone. I love you guys so much. I really do. I love you so much. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, I had we had discussed about me dyeing it purple, and now I'm wanting it back green again, though. I saw Lydia's green hair, and I was like, I need my green hair back. All right. So, Becca, let's look at last week, this week, and next week. All right. Last week. Calm. You're giggling inside too much. You're calm. I just hear you going, I'm trying, Mom. Okay. All right. Let's see. This week. This week. And next week. Next week. Okay. Last week, you dealt with justice. You got a goddess showing up, Athena. Okay. Let's see if I can remember what justice is, but no, I can't. Why? My brain. She's forward facing. So the need to take a more detached viewpoint of troublesome situations. So last week you found that you needed to step back. Imagine yourself as wise Athena. The ability to defend oneself so that justice may be done. So the previous week you were, I got defend yourself. In the previous week, you felt like you had to defend your choices. That came out just then. Choices. There were choices you had to defend. To you, there weren't that big of a life choices, but to others, they were like groundbreaking. Apparently, that's how I feel it's coming off. Okay, so this week you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Need to develop talents before bringing them to the marketplace. Recheck plans for expansion. Are they appropriate to your abilities? So I feel like this week there was a discussion. Okay, so your choices have been questioned. And because your choices were questioned, you're now questioning your own choices. Like you defended yourself, but this week you spent some time like defending what you've chosen to do. And it said expansion. So I'm going to say this is what it feels like to me. It feels like you had to defend your choice to move. And now you're questioning, did you do the right thing? But you're not going to say that out loud. Like you're not going to admit that that's something you're thinking, but that's what you're thinking. And I just said it publicly. So let's see. Future. Next week, you've got the Queen of Pentacles. She is in reverse. Need to ground oneself, perhaps an over materialistic orientation to life, disappointment in home, or lack of focus. And I've got lack of focus and ground yourself. Don't get too caught up in this, what if I didn't make the right decisions? Because if you start getting caught up, like it's kind of feeling like you're getting caught up, like you're spiraling into this thing. If you don't stop and ground yourself, next week is going to be a wash. Next week, you're just going to be, an emotional wreck. Stop, ground yourself, make sure you do some self-care. So that way next week you don't go into a spiral. That's what I feel like it's saying right now. It's like you're really starting to get overly emotional about the choice. All right. Let's see who's next. Okay, so Becca, then Bree, our newcomer. Bree, thank you for joining. I hope you're finding this as entertaining as the ones that are always here, and I love that. So I hope you're finding it as entertaining. And you never know what I'm going to say or do. I'm really just that crazy. All right, Bree, I am going to do last week, this week, next week for you as well. Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, I've had all kinds of colored hair. That's right, Cindy. Welcome to the cool kids table. I drink Diet Coke. All right. So, past. Last week. This week. Bree, it feels like you're trying to stay really calm. Next week. Okay. Last week, you've got a goddess showing up. You have Rhiannon. Rhiannon, I believe, was a horse goddess, right? Let's see. She is in 7. Rhiannon is, the British horse goddess Rhiannon is believed to appear to her followers while riding an unearthly white horse. In this way, Rhiannon symbolizes the unceasing force of movement, which pulls all of life along with it. Yours is in reverse. So it's impatience, disregard, or insensitivity to the signs around you. I do feel the signs around you part. I feel like there was a wonder about whether or not something was a sign. Like you saw something that you're like, was that a sign? Yes, it was a sign. See what happened this week. Who's sending you signs? This week, Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, mastery of all that Venus and this suit of cups represents: art, beauty, intimacy, love, the ability to express love, to nurture others, an older woman who inspires others to live in harmoniously. All right, I'm going to go on a limb and say what is in my head, but I'm going to say that this makes no sense to me whatsoever, Bree. It makes no sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you. And if not, then I'm totally off. What this is saying to me is like you were looking for signs from like a grandmother or an older female in your life. You were looking for that person to send you a clue on what to do. And so in the week previous, you were wondering if that was a sign. And this card is telling me, yeah, it came from this older female that like, it feels like a grandma. It feels like a grandma. Let's go with next week. You've got the Two of Pentacles. The ability to juggle several situations at once: job opportunities, grace and bounty, commerce and expansion. Okay. You wondered if this was a sign. It was from like an older, like grandmother. I keep saying grandmother. The message with the sign was like, you got this. This is okay. You're going to be fine. And so they were letting you know that next week is going to be fine. You're going to handle things. You're going to handle the situation. Whatever is coming next week that you've been like super stressed about, that's what it feels like. You've got it. You've got it under control. Like they're watching over you. You're good. That's what it sounds like. I'd love to know if that was any closely to something that makes sense to you. I would really like to know if that makes sense to you. All right. And Madam Shalisa, this way. I left that in. We're going to do that. All right. Who was next? It does. Oh, all right, Bree. All right. I'm glad. So yeah, then you've gotten the answer that you were here to find. So in my belief system, and I don't know how you believe, I never assume anybody's belief, but in my belief system, it is you were destined to hear this message at this time. In any place that you're in at that moment in time, you're supposed to be there, and you're supposed to have gained something from every moment. So I'm glad that you were here and you were able to get that message. Thank you for being here. All right. So who's next? Cindy. And then Aaron. Aaron wants her tea leaves read. I want to learn how to read tea leaves. I really do. I don't know. You guys know I love learning so much. Bree, you are always welcome. We do this again tomorrow. So you are welcome to come in. All right, Cindy, let's do your last week, this week, and next week. Last week. Oh, all right. Sometimes the cards get really loud with me, like, pick me. I'm like, okay, all right. Stop. It's like that kid in class that goes, oh. That's what the card just did. Okay. And next week. So here we go. Last week, the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Possibility of being miserly or being overly generous. Miserly. And I'm an English teacher, y'all. Welcome. Possibility of being miserly or being overly generous. Need to protect resources. That last part, protect resources. I feel like in the week prior there was a thought on resources. It's more than a thought. It's like a heavy discussion on resources. This week, the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords. And it is also in reverse. Need for thought. Are you using swords against yourself? Confusion. Are you using swords against yourself? So this discussion for prior week on resources, you started self-doubting yourself. Like, is this necessary? I don't know. Like, I do feel like you were jabbing at yourself this week. You were very, very critical over some things that you've thought. overly critical almost. All right. And next week, you've got the Ace of Staves. Now, Staves we know is creative. So let's see what's going on with creativity next week. Ace of Staves in reverse. Difficulties with new ventures. Being burnt out by too much energy, too much expenditure, too many thoughts, the need to focus. Okay, so here's where I feel with this. You're similar to what I felt like with Becca, which was that I want to say like you're being very negative with yourself, and you're going to have a hard time getting out of that space next week. You need to do some self-care, and you need to do some things that feel good for you. Find some joy. But that's where I feel like you're headed for a not so happy mind space next week. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. Like you've just done a lot of self-doubt lately, and that self-doubt has put you where you don't need to be. So the universe is recognizing that you're there. It's telling you that it knows that you're going to be there. But also, by it giving you that information that it knows you are there, it also knows that you are capable of getting out of it. You are capable of finding something joyful. It's really screaming, find joy, find joy, find joy. In any way, fashion, sense, find joy. All right. Q. Aaron is next. Then Rebecca. I have a Rebecca in here? What? I didn't see Rebecca. Well, hello there, Rebecca. This is why I have Amber. She wasn't even hired on to do this, but she's just going to do it because, you know, it's Amber and she's good with organization. We've talked about this. Oh, Joy is going on a grocery list. All right. Joy's going on a grocery list. You know, and Cindy, thank you. You know, I love you. I love you a lot. And when this COVID nonsense is over, we are going to sit by fires, either at my house or yours, all right? But we will sit by fires and have long talks about scaring people. All right. Aaron's turn. Aaron, last week, this week, next week, okay? Last week. This week. Next week. Okay. Why was it so hard to pull your past? Okay. It was very hard for me to feel what happened last week. And before I turn this card over, Aaron, I'm just going to tell you what it feels like before I even turn this card over. It feels like a blah week. Like nothing really exciting happened. Yes, Becca, absolutely. All right. So, Aaron, what I'm getting from the previous week is the Nine of Cups in reverse. Nine of Cups in reverse, a delay in granting of your wishes, complacency. That's where I got. Like it was just eh. Like you said, eh. It wasn't anything special. It's just eh. All right. This week you have Two of Swords in reverse. Two of Swords in reverse. Discomfort with a decision that was made. Over-reliance on intellect. Leaving emotions unconsidered. Uncomfortable relationships. Leaving emotions unconsidered is what I've latched onto. That blah week has kind of led into this week, which is just kind of like emotionless. Like there's nothing really. Yeah, it just feels like this. Like the previous week has kind of bled into this week. That's what it feels like. So you're just like, eh. Next week, you have the Four of Swords in reverse. And that is enforced isolation, loneliness, more recovery time needed. Okay, so when they said recovery time, yeah, that's what I got, Stuart, as well, was that for some reason, like the enforced isolation, I feel like you might have come in contact with somebody or somebody no. No. Somebody no, that's not it either. That enforced isolation is getting me. I don't know what it is. Like, I want to say COVID, but of course I want to say COVID because we live in the pandemic, right? But I don't know that that is what it is. I feel like it's illness. I do. I feel like it's illness. I don't know if it's a personal illness, though, or if it's somebody else's illness. But it's an enforced isolation due to illness. That's what I'm picking up. So, wash your hands, wear your mask, stay away from people. They're gross. Stop it. I know. I don't know that. That's the thing, is like your cards just this week are blah. And I was having a hard time finding your last week. When the cards do this occasionally, like when they give us a really random, like this doesn't feel good to me, this doesn't feel good to you, what it signifies to me, and what I've told my kids when I've picked their cards, there's something that you don't need to know right now. The cards are giving you something that isn't yours, but it's just, you don't need to know what next week is. For whatever reason, you don't need to know. Stuart, I don't even think that it's that. I think it's honestly that there is something that needs to happen. Stuart mentioned transition. Yeah, Aaron, I don't know. I feel like, so the enforced isolation, I don't even know. This one is a total disconnect from a reading. I think yours is just having to not be read tonight. That's what I think. I think the universe is like, you gotta wait. Tomorrow. Let's read tomorrow. I have a feeling that there's something in your head that has to settle before the universe will answer. You've got like too many things, too many questions, too many, I don't know. Tomorrow. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, It was very hard to find that first card. I don't know. It's just weird. Okay. So Rebecca asks a specific question to be answered. What will they be in the future? They mentioned wanting to be a singer or actress. They are also a newcomer. So welcome, Rebecca. As far as an actress or a singer, so that's kind of what you want to know. You want to know your future. So let's pull a past, present, future. All right. I'm not going to pull a week. We're going to pull a past, present, future. So I can tell you where you've been in your past, where you are right now, and where you're going to be in the future. And cards. She specifically wants to know about the entertaining. So let's talk about where this came from. In the past, that came right off the top. That just had to happen. That was wild. It's very rare that I pull cards right off the top. Present. Future. Okay. In the past, Rebecca, you have the Two of Cups in reverse. In the past, you have Two of Cups in reverse. Overindulgence, too much celebration, time to get to work. I get that get to work. You've taken time to hone this talent that you're looking for. Like you're wanting to, the thing that you're wanting to have happen in your future, you have taken time to hone that talent. You are working on it. Almost, I want to say like, I want to say that you've done it too much almost. Let's go with, no, you haven't done it too much. You just have practiced a lot. That's what I'm getting. You got a goddess come to your cards. So it's a life card. It is sacrifice in reverse though. This is Kuan Yin, and we heard from earlier, she's a Chinese goddess of sacrifice. She's the one that sacrificed herself for humanity. So she is in reverse for you. Number 12 in the deck, yeah. Lack of compassion, avoiding pain for gain, focus on materialism to the determinant of spiritual value. That last one right there, not the materialism part of it, but that you have focused so hard on honing this talent that you feel sometimes emotionally disconnected from people. And that's not who you are. That's not the type of person you are. You're very much a people person and you love being around people, but because you are working so hard to get to where you want to be, it's causing this like emotional pullback. You're becoming very detached from people. Almost cold. Not cold yet, but it's like almost cold. So you're working really hard for this. This right here is going to tell me like what is in the future for this particular talent, because it came out and was talking about your talent. 8 of Swords, and that is front facing. 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords, inability to move, incapacitating, depression, feeling victimized or entrapped by others. Okay. I get the entrapped by others. Trapped by others. This is a cautionary card. You have spent a lot of time honing this talent. I feel like, and again, I don't know you, so I don't know anything about your life. I don't know if this is correct, but I feel like there is someone holding you back from this future. Like you want it so desperately and you're practicing so hard, but you feel like you are being held back. Yeah. Are you being held back? Yes and no. Part of it is you wanting to place blame on somebody for holding you back, and part of it is your own fear. You are happy to be able to push that entrapment there because you're scared. What if you aren't successful? What if this isn't? What if you make self look stupid? If you try, this tells me this is entrapment. You're thinking it is somebody, but it is actually you and your own thoughts holding you back. You've got to believe in yourself as much as you have worked. That's how much you have to believe in what you want. All right. If you can't believe in what you want, you'll never get it. You've got to work hard, which you have, and you've got to stop telling yourself you can't. And that's what I get. So, Rebecca, stop telling yourself that it's a pipe dream. It's not a pipe dream. You can do it. You just got to do it. Okay. All right. Who's next? Let's see. We had Rebecca. And then who else? No one? No response? Queue empty? All right. All right. Then we are done for the night. We are done for the night. Yep. Stuart, you just got to do it. Rebecca, these cards are telling me you just got to do it. All right. Stop holding yourself back and just do it. And I think that's a great place to end on for tonight. Really, it is, because it's sort of like the cards are letting all of us know that we need to stop holding ourselves back. We need to stop saying that we're not good enough. We're not going to get through this week. You're all going to get through this week. You're all having the capabilities to ground yourselves and make yourselves happy. You all have the ability to find joy and to find happiness and to go after it. And you all have the right to do that. All right. So until tomorrow night, see you at 7 tomorrow night. All of you are welcome back. We will answer whatever question. Okay. So until tomorrow, be happy, be safe. If you go anywhere, wear a mask, wash your hands, stay away from people that are gross. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.